Hey everyone, and welcome. The movie we're going to be talking about today is Raya and the Last Dragon. Fun fact, Raya is Disney's 13th Disney princess. The film came out in 2021 and stars Kelly Marie Tran, Awkwafina, and Gemma Chan, and was directed by Don Hall and Carlos Lopez Estrada. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Raya and the Last Dragon starts off in Kumandra, where dragon and people live safely together. Everything is going well until one day the Druids attack, leaving many people turned to stone as well as many dragons turned to stone as well. The last dragon, Sisu, decides to use the last bit of her magic to save the world. 500 years pass, and Kumandra is split into five different villages based off of different parts of the dragon. You have Spine, Tail, Talon, Fang, and Heart. And all of these villages are fighting over who gets Sisu's last piece of magic, which is currently being held in Raya's village, Heart. While all this is going on, the Druids come back and start causing chaos again. Now Raya must not only find Sisu so Sisu can help her save the world again, but she also must help unite the five villages to bring back Kumandra. The cast of this movie is remarkable. You have Kelly Marie Tran, who was in Star Wars, Gemma Chan, who was in Crazy Rich Asians, Awkwafina, who was also in Crazy Rich Asians, Daniel Day Kim, who was in Hawaii Five-O, Benedict Wong, who was in Doctor Strange, Sandra Oh was in Grey's Anatomy, and Don Hall directed a favorite of mine, Big Hero 6, and Carlos Lopez Estrada directed Blind Spotting. I love Kelly Marie Tran voicing Raya. She really makes you feel sad for what Raya has been through, and you can really tell that she's sad that she lost her dad. But then you can also hear the determination in her voice when she's trying to undo what's already been done. Raya is such a fierce warrior, and I love how she is also a woman and a person of color. I think representation is very important because there are people from different backgrounds watching this. And for some people, they've never seen someone like Raya on screen. So they finally have someone to connect with. And these kids that, have never seen someone that looks like them on screen finally have a hero who looks like them. Aquafina is so funny as Sisu in this movie. When we hear stories about Sisu in the beginning of the movie, we think she'll be this wise dragon. But when we finally meet her, we realize that she's just this funny, quirky dragon. She ends up being more wise than she thinks and gives Raya a little bit more advice about how to be a better person. I thought it was also very interesting throughout the movie how we saw her getting like different powers while learning a little bit more about her family. Namari was really fierce in this movie, but I often felt that she was doing things just because her mother said that they were right, even though they may not have been right. I'm glad that by the end of the film, she sees what really needs to be happening and she knows now that everyone needs to unite in order for them to save the world. Tuk Tuk was so adorable in this movie. I thought it was cool how he was just like this giant, like armadillo like animal. I also thought it was funny how Raya just basically like rode him around like a motorcycle. Like he was just one giant big wheel, just going around, living life, eating whatever he wants. Raya learns a lot about trust and forgiveness in this movie. She is often quick to judge and is very untrusting when it comes to people from other villages. Throughout the film, Sisu, helps her learn that trusting people is something that they're going to need in order to unite the different villages and bring back Kumandra. This film brought up an interesting topic about should we always believe what we're told and not give people a chance. Raya was brought up not trusting the other villages, and she was never told that in order for them to unite Kumandra again, she's really going to have to start trusting people. She saw how she was betrayed once and let that fear of trust grow inside her. She didn't trust people from other villages, and more importantly, she didn't trust Sisu, who had a plan to deal with Namari. By the end of the movie, she understands that trust was needed in order to fix the broken parts of Kumandra. I also noticed that everyone in the group that Raya was with shared this same trauma of losing someone because of what was going on with the Druids. I thought it was nice how they all came together and united for a common cause because they understood that they couldn't do it alone. My favorite scene in this movie is when Raya meets the little baby and she goes to try to help the baby, only to find out that the monkeys that the baby hangs out with is trying to steal her gems. And the baby is like some funky little ninja baby. And I thought it was funny to see Raya chasing throughout the city trying to get the gems back from this baby. But then I also thought it was nice how in the end, Raya doesn't do any harm to the baby or the monkeys, but instead she decides to create a union with them and say like, "Hey, let's start working together because I could use your skills." So I really thought that that was cool how they went from stealing from Raya to eventually working with Raya. But the scene itself was just really funny. It was delightful to see this magical world they built. This movie was filled with lots of bright colors and they really popped and stood out. I love how they built Kumandra and showed all these different villages. It was really interesting to see how they built this whole little world for this movie. Raya and the Last Dragon is a thought provoking movie filled with magic and adventure. I love this inventive story and how that this was an adventure movie, but it also had messages dealing with fear, trust, and forgiveness. The cast of this movie is great, and I suggest that if you have a chance, go watch it. Thank you for watching. I would love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. If you have not subscribed, please do so you can keep up to date with more of my videos. But besides that, everyone stay safe, have fun. Goodbye.